So yeah, I took a month-long break basically from doing the pods, and I'm back for November. Um, yeah, so what's going on?
What's up, Akshay? Glad to be back on the pod. November now, man. We had quite a bit of a cold spell this past weekend. Um, were you out running at all this weekend too?
I went for a run yesterday. The day before, it snowed about 5 centimeters, and yesterday there was still some snow, but it wasn't too bad. By now, all the snow is melted.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I feel I was actually concerned on Sunday. I was debating on heading back to Toronto if the weather would be good enough because there's a bunch of warnings about a some heavy gusts blowing in from Alberta, just like 60, 70 k, and then the snow too. But in the end, it wasn't really that bad.
Yeah, yeah, that day where they had projected 90 kilometer per hour winds. I was gonna run, but I thought, I better stay at home, and I did, and kind of worked out. I did some workouts at home. I'm doing a push-up challenge for November, so just competing
Ooh,
with my friend to see who can do the most push-ups in the month of November. And yeah, it's day 3.
nice.
I'm at 56. We're both sore. Let's see what happens.
Oh, dude, that's a good way to get jacked. Continuing. So, what's your strategy for this competition? I'm curious.
Um, I think it's gonna be do some in the morning, do some in the afternoon, and then do some at night. So maybe
Okay,
10
stagger through.
push-ups every, yeah, so 30 push-ups a day maybe.
Nice. You don't want to like Goggins it and do like a push up every minute on the uh for 24 hours or anything like that? Sprint
Uh,
ahead.
that might be something to do on the last day. Like maybe not every minute, but maybe do it so it's every hour, do 10 push-ups instead of 10 push-ups 3 times a day.
Totally fair, man. Good luck. That's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, yeah, I did 11 this morning. So I was feeling pretty good. Then I did another 11 in the afternoon. And then I thought I'll do a second set of 11. I got to 4 and just I couldn't do anymore. So I got to ease into it. I don't want to go full Goggins on the third day.
For sure, for sure. I mean, it'll be good that you're tracking this and then you can compare, where you started. I imagine you'll probably hit like I don't know, probably 30 push-ups at the end of your set, at the end of the month at least.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. My buddy, he set up a spreadsheet. So it shows you, uh, you know, it shows you a pattern of your number of push-ups per day and also the cumulative over the
Hmm.
days. So that's good. And he also invited his girlfriend. So it's the same 2 people
Oh,
from the
yes.
running challenge.
Got it.
So yeah. So hopefully this time I get to crush her soul.
Taking souls, actually. That's great.
Yes, sir.
Are you
Uh,
still keeping on top of I guess like you're keeping on top of the running game while you're engaging in this new challenge too.
yeah, I mean the last 2 weeks I ran about once a week after the challenge, the running challenge, which
Oh
ended
yeah, you gotta recover for your next phase of training.
yeah. So those 2 weeks were like 3 kilometers per week. So last week I did like 7 or 7.5. So I'm gonna try to stick to around 10 kilometers per week. With the colder weather coming, it's gonna depend a lot on how cold it is. So I don't mind running like -5 or warmer. We'll see how low I can go because I don't want to get an injury because that's how I got
Mm.
injured, was running in really cold weather.
That's true, yeah. Especially it's tough when it's not your muscles that you have to worry about, right? It's like your ligaments and
Yeah.
joints. Those take far longer to warm up. Um, and so definitely prone to injury there. That's good, man. Play it safe.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you. I mean, yeah, hope it goes well. Um, so yeah, what's been going on with you since I guess the last month or so?
Yeah. So you've I appreciate all the kudos you've been giving on Strava. Um, I I've been trying to average like 2 to 4 runs per week myself, but that's just a subset of the exercises that I've been uh, doing regularly these past 3+ weeks. Do you want to guess like how many workouts I've been averaging per week?
All right. So what kind of workouts are we talking? Like paddling or
Any,
gym?
yeah, any type of workout. If you had to put a number
Uh,
out there,
I'm gonna say, are you doing more than one workout per day?
just take a guess.
Okay. I'm gonna say you work out 6 days a week and 2 a day workouts 3 out of the 6 days.
Oh, so nine workouts in a week total.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're on the money. These past 3 weeks, I've been doing at least 9 workouts every week.
Okay, let's break it down.
So it's it's between 1 to 3 paddling sessions, 2 to 4 running sessions.
Mhm.
So average 4 cardio sessions in a week.
Okay.
Always 3 circuits in a week. Always 1 yoga session or stretching session during the week, and then 1 bonus workout during the week, if not 2 bonus workouts. So it
So
could be hike or a
what's
bike.
what's a circuit?
A circuit is it's usually been like 4x5, 4x6, 4x7, and this week is 4x8 of ring dips,
Oh,
body rows on the rings, elevated push-ups, pull-ups, and um, what are they called? Something like shoulder press
okay.
and back extensions.
Okay. And the bonus is like a treat. I'll do whatever I want.
Yeah, so like first week I think it was stairs, next week it was like a hike and then a bike, and then last week was BJJ.
Yo, what? You're doing jujitsu now?
I did it as a trial last week at a club here in Toronto, and it was a lot of fun.
Okay, because I want to try it out, but I'm really hesitant at this point because I don't feel like my flexibility is there, and I feel like if you're not flexible, you're gonna get injured.
Uh, yeah, I think it's fair. But with BJJ, I feel like if you keep your ego in check, you're definitely able to practice it safely. Like you can still just do the basic drills. You can practice some like takedowns and stuff like that. Um, and if you're wearing the gis, right, to practice in, those are hot as well.
Oh,
So your body warms up a lot quicker than you imagine. Just like running in circles and doing drills on in the gym, in that like thick cloth
mm,
that's covering your entire body. It warms you. I was sweating buckets at the end of it, and it was like 21 or 22 degrees in that gym. It was pretty cool, but I was sweating buckets.
and that's cool. I don't actually know if I want to do it, but I watched so much of the Joe Rogan podcast. It's just all I hear
Right.
is jujitsu is awesome. It's the best. You should do it. So I want to make sure that I actually want to do it. So I think I would love to see a session one day and just get a feel for it before stepping in and trying to actually do it firsthand. But it sounds like you had a great experience.
Yeah, I mean, it's not my first time doing martial arts. This is my first time doing like a grappling based martial arts, but it was, yeah, the guys were great. The instructor was a bust your balls kind of dude, jokester that was also like an old white fat guy, and he reminded me so much of my old kung fu teacher, who also happened to be a new school kind of bust your balls, old white fat guy as well. So
That's
maybe
funny.
that's another reason why I liked it so much, because the teachers felt very similar.
Okay, so you've been doing 9 workouts a week for 3 weeks, and how you feel? You feel good? You feel tired? Like overexerted, or what's your vibe?
I feel great, man. Like
Okay.
you know, this cycle, I didn't really plan anything. Like I just came off of uh working out at the gym here with Ty. Before the gym closed, we were doing like, the typical powerlifting stuff, so deadlift, squats, bench, and so on.
Mm.
Um, After the gyms closed, I was just like, okay, let's just work out once a day. And then that became like sometimes twice a day. And then 3 weeks later, here I am. And it's been good. Like, I think the cardio game has improved quite a bit, especially after, taking taking all of Goggins' knowledge into account,
Mm.
and keeping that in mind. And the pull-ups have been very solid too, because I haven't done pull-ups in like over half a year,
Mm.
because like at the start of the year, or maybe it was even like last year, I was on the verge of tearing my right shoulder muscle, my anterior delt, um, just from doing too many pull-ups. And I literally tore my left anterior delt 2 years ago from doing too many pull-ups and paddling before, and that set me back at least 2 months. So that's why I was off pull-ups for a while. So it's good that after such a long time and a lot of uh, careful exercising, I was able to get back into it these past 3 weeks.
Okay, wow. Yeah, recovering from an injury's, I guess I mean, it takes a long time, and I'm glad it's coming together for you now after months and months. So yeah, that's awesome.
Thanks, dude. And the other thing too is that, before, or this summer especially, right? I injured my wrists, both my hands and my
Mhm.
wrists, and it was tough for me to do any pulling exercises too. But doing the body rows, doing the pull-ups these past 3 weeks, I've barely had to put on my straps. I've been just gripping the rings just by myself, and I've barely felt a thing. So
Mm.
that's good. The only time in these past 3 weeks that I felt pain in my wrists really was last Friday when I did BJJ. After I left the gym,
Mm.
my wrists were just like so sore. It was
Mm.
crazy because like you spend so much time like gripping and like pulling on your opponent's claw, right?
Mm.
So I guess I was a little bit too gung ho, or maybe something else. Maybe it's not for me at this time because of my limitations in my wrist, but BJJ has been the only aggravating source so far.
We talked a while ago about the finger joints and how you can have the pains at the joints just because of how the anatomy works if it gets
Yeah.
inflamed.
Hmm.
And yeah, for a long time I've had these two, I guess these two fingers. Um, if I write too much or type too much, I'll get pain in the two joints there, like
Yeah, I
here and
remember you
here.
mentioning it, that it originated from like studying back in university.
Yeah, it was that's likely where it started when I would do a lot of writing notes and rewriting notes, and it's stuck around for many years since then. But what I did notice is as I am doing my daily workouts and including postures and trying to get some flexibility and balance in my posture, I noticed that there's some kind of relief that comes randomly in those fingers, specifically the middle finger, and
Yeah.
like it's also related to my neck because my neck is still kind of stiff on this side, on my right side. So like I, my hunch is there's whatever connects the finger up to the neck here. Like something is tense here. So I feel like that kind of pull in one place is pulling in other places. So that's where I get the relief. That being said,
Hmm.
I don't know if getting the neck all good and balancing out my posture is going to create or is going to remove this issue. But I do feel some relief, which is kind of cool. Yeah, that's what I had to say about that.
Nice. Yeah, I mean that's good to hear, man. I think, if if you can repeat that relief and it becomes a sustained effort, maybe, yeah, maybe the sensations will subside further and further.
Yeah, I really find value in doing a daily workout. It's it's not really a strength workout, but I'm using 5 or 3 pound dumbbells, doing a bunch of shoulder exercises, um, even like overhead stuff like that. So I mean, it's cool because it's really important to build that routine in there so that your body knows you're going to be doing something once or twice every day, even if it's something super minimal. And that's really valuable for me because I haven't lived my life like that for the majority of my life. So yeah, it's the workout game's been pretty good.
That's awesome, dude. It's all about that consistency and putting I think it's Goggins said, like, putting those cookies in the cookie jar and just
Hmm.
remembering that they're there.
Yeah, yeah, for sure, man. Oh, so yeah, I'm hyped for The Expanse season 5.
Yeah, you just finished the fifth book, right?
I did, and oh man, it's one of those stories. Well, can I guess you already kind of know the premise if you've seen the trailer.
Yes. Yeah.
So the Rocinante crew, they basically split up into their own journeys, and then it all comes together at the end. And there's a new villain which they set up in season 4,
Yep.
and man, I'm excited. And they're releasing the first 3 episodes at once. So we're gonna do that marathon. If we can't do it in person, uh, Amazon Prime, I believe, has like an Amazon Party app where you can watch it together.
Oh, I was just gonna say, if we could just torrent it. Like, I could torrent it. I could send you the file too, or whatever, and we could just watch it simultaneously and get on the call.
Yeah, but I mean, I think like the Amazon Party thing is built in, or if streaming doesn't work for you, yeah, we can figure out how to do it. But hopefully, we can just meet up and watch it together.
Yeah, yeah, that's true too.
Yeah, yeah. So there's that, and it's November already. Winter is here. Corona hasn't gone.
Yep.
So that's what the world is now.
Yeah, man. I'm I'm kind of looking forward to the winter, to be honest. Like, I'm hoping to get my skating game leveled up a lot during this
Hmm.
time, because
Okay.
normally there across my building um there's this, like, uh I guess, dedicated area for, like, events and stuff. And what they do here in the winter is that they set up a skating rink here. But Obviously it gets super busy in the evenings after people finish work, but I mean, with a flexible work schedule, me working from home, planning to just practice there, and yeah, hopefully get a little bit better than um yeah than what I am now.
You know what'll be a great workout in the winter? Whenever there's a huge snowfall, just to go walking outside.
That's true. Yeah, that'll be intense resistance training.
Yeah, I did that with my mom and sister. I think 2 Christmases ago, we went for a walk to a local, like a nearby Tim Hortons. It was obviously closed, but we walked all the way there and came back. So it was like 2.5 kilometers. But it's just the effort of lifting your leg and walking in I don't know, I guess 15 centimeters of snow. It's intense.
Yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to running in that, to be honest.
Oh,
I
okay.
yeah, I think I think it maybe is a lot of influence from Goggins, but I think it's when the conditions are shittier, that just makes the run more all that more appealing to me.
I
Like
100% agree. And I learned that way that my limit is minus 14 degrees Celsius.
that, I mean, to be fair, like have you tried putting on 3 layers of pants and then going for a colder?
No, no, I never tried it. I just know that's the coldest I've done. And
Oh, okay.
the only problem was because I stopped running before I got back home, I had to walk
Oh,
like 1 or 2 kilometers in a hoodie and just some jogging pants. So that
that
part is very cold,
yes, yes.
but the run I think is okay. Um, However, when I'm running in very cold weather, I'm gonna make it a point not to run for speed and just to run for
The mental training.
casual. Yeah, just like jog basically, jog and take it
Yeah.
easy to get the distance and the time in and the experience because you're gonna get injured if you push yourself in the cold.
Yeah, man, absolutely. It's a lot easier to play the long game, and I think it's almost always better to play the long game anyways. Slow and steady. So you build the massive gains actually.
Yeah, I don't even know, man. I feel like I need that. I need that foundation where mentally I know I've done something. If you have that,
But you have done so much. Like running
yeah,
50-kilometer weeks and stuff, multiple weeks of that.
yeah. I mean specifically about running in the cold. Like if you do it
Yes.
3 or 4 seasons in a row, you know you've done it. You know you can do it. You know you ran when you didn't want to. Then in that fifth season, you can kind of push yourself for speed. Because by that time you have experience of how do you pace yourself on the bare road? How do you pace yourself on the snow, on fresh snow, on that thin layer of snow that covers ice? Things like that.
hmm Yeah, definitely having that experience to draw upon and motivate yourself, especially when those runs, especially those runs in poor conditions, get tough. I think that's key.
But skating, yeah, I haven't done too much of it. I mean,
Same,
it's what's that?
same. That's why I'm I'm
Uh,
I'm, I'm interested.
okay, yeah. So do you have skates or do they like
Yeah,
rent it out
I have
or?
I have skates. I don't know if they're good skates. They're like 10 years old.
Hmm,
They still fit. No, they must be older than that. Like must be at least 12 or 14 years old.
okay. Yeah, I would love to do it, but I don't know. There's not really any opportunity. But since you have one, yeah, I'm excited. You just want to get the feel for it this season? Just do it regularly?
Yeah, I want to be able to, I guess like if I could, I'd like to be able to practice actual ice hockey. So I
Oh,
might get like a stick and a puck and just like practice some, I don't know what they called, I guess like puck handling
Yeah.
drills and
Right.
stuff like that. Um, yeah, that'd be like the ideal goal,
Mm.
but we'll see. I mean, I have no idea even if that they're planning to do rinks here as well in Toronto, right?
That's true. How would they enforce social distancing on the rink?
I mean, I I honestly don't know. I guess like it's as social cues would influence people, right? Like we have people gathering in parks and they're, supposed to self-govern themselves. So I think it's like the same kind of idea.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see how this winter goes on with the corona going on. And you can only go so long without seeing people. And when you add extreme cold, that's just it just becomes necessary to see people and meet people. You don't see them outside, so you have to visit somebody.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I feel, yeah, I hope people don't do, overly ambitious stuff as of yet, like throwing massive Christmas parties and stuff like that.
Mhm.
But we'll see. I mean, the case numbers have been pretty elevated for 2 months now.
Mhm. Have we reached a peak
Yeah.
yet? I don't know.
Um, I think I saw 1,000 plus cases recently in the past week. I wonder what the 5 day average is like.
Mhm.
But we're definitely in that heightened area in this fall period.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, only now I'm starting to hear from people, oh, I know a guy who got COVID and died. Yeah, so I guess it's getting closer.
Damn, like actually knowing them. But the other thing is too, like all these deaths about COVID are they need the proper context too, because more often than not, the people who actually succumb to death under COVID, the guy could have had like a failing heart condition, and then he
Yeah.
also had COVID in him. So coroner's gonna rule COVID, and it was really probably the last thing on the bucket. It's a bunch of these comorbidities that these patients have that really tribute like maybe 90% of their likelihood to die. And COVID was just the last straw, right?
Mm, yeah. Yeah, I
Not to
mean,
downplay it, right? Like obviously healthy individuals can just get like the shit kicked out of them by getting this disease, this illness.
right. As far as I have read about it or seen it on the news, they don't make a distinction between COVID only deaths and COVID related deaths. Like, for example, if you have a heart condition and then adding the COVID on top of that, just,
Yeah,
you've
they're all in the same
overclocked your
bucket as far as
body.
I can tell.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't think it would make a difference to me as someone who just wants to see what the stats are, but from the sense of feeling good about, you know, how I would fare in the situation, you would definitely feel better if you didn't have complication or you didn't have some other disease, and then you saw that mostly people who have a disease get more severe reactions. However, also that being said, we all know people who have uh, like whether it's a heart condition or diabetes or things like that. So I would just because I feel like I would do okay doesn't mean I can be reckless and catch it because I live with uh, my people who have some condition. So you don't want to be cool with it and then find out that you killed someone basically.
Yeah, 100%. Like you gotta, of course, everyone's got to have the freedom and to do what they want to do, but you got to be considerate about those around you
Yeah, man.
because we live in a society. By definition, we live with other people, and I think really it's society is only at its best when we can help each other.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder if there's any better way to, you know, balance the freedom of people to take less precaution. Obviously, in this case, because it is very contagious, as far as I know, that's the reason that everyone is being encouraged to wear a mask because you don't want to spread it. But it sucks for people who can't work from home. They have to go out, and they're
Yep.
at risk. And of course, they might be fine. Like you have your skip the dishes delivery driver. But anyway, but then you might be living with someone who has a breathing condition or something. So I don't know. I'm just kind of talking in circles now.
Yeah, it's it's definitely a lot of stuff that we'll have to look back on and and see and recall the tumultuous period that was 2020. Like a coworker and I were just joking that, that meeting felt like 2020, right? And it was just like, there's just so much gravitas to the year 2020 that you can just say stuff like that and it'll just be ubiquitously understood. So at least we all have a collective baseline of, frustration, appreciation, disappointment. Like we're on that same wavelength when we think of 2020, at least. There's
Yeah.
as opposed to um, like Spain winning like a World Cup or something, or Germany winning a World Cup in soccer, right? Like really Germany and people who are fans of the German FC are celebrating that. When a vaccine is made for coronavirus, we're all celebrating that, right? When
Mm.
some politician says stupid stuff about COVID, we're all frustrated about that. So here's like a very well publicized thing that collects the human experience and makes us all on the same level.
And I used to be really sad when I had to start wearing glasses, but I'm so glad I don't see 2020 anymore.
that's that's pretty good actually.
I should have waited another 2 months to say that.
No, did you just think of that right now?
Yeah.
You're so good. Jeez.
Uh, yeah, I've been recording some ideas for stand up
Stand up?
bits. Yeah, so
Nice.
yeah, I think that's the best way to start. I'm just gonna record for maybe a year or two, get a bunch of them down, and then practice and just refine the recordings a little bit. Then when I have 5 minutes or 10 minutes, then I can go to a show and try it out. And that's probably the best thing to do right now because I don't want to go to a show in this environment with Corona and all that.
Yeah, I think that's great. It's How are you finding that process? Because I recently listened to an episode of Joe Rogan with Russell Peters,
Mhm.
and they're both saying how it's just like them and a lot of the comedians they know are having like a real tough time like coming up with material during coronavirus.
Well, it's different for me. I've never performed. So for me, any idea is a great idea because I can see where it goes. As soon as I start performing, you kind of, it's just going to be a different experience because I've never done it before. So it's just a process of coming up with ideas right now. And right now, that is the most important thing because if you put in the volume of ideas and minutes of material, then you have a lot to filter through when you perform it in front of somebody. And because I have no performance experience, like I may even screw up one bit 10 times before I can get it right, or I will likely forget what I want to say, because I don't know what it's like to have 10, 15, 20, 30 people staring at you, waiting for you to speak and just waiting for your next word. Whenever I give presentations, you kind of like, you don't have to be funny. So you just kind of have to deliver content, like your technical material. But when you're trying to retain someone's attention, then it depends what you say, how you say it, whether it's smooth, etc. But in a technical lecture or a presentation, no one really cares about how you deliver it. They're like, all right, I guess we have to be here. You have to tell us about the new, I don't know, new Python program you wrote.
Yeah. You know, the thing about that, like a lot of things in life, is that you'll stumble, right? But as long as you get back into it, learn something from um the like the stumbles, then that's all that really matters, right?
Mm,
It's then incremental progress with you.
yeah. Yeah. So I think it's going pretty well. I've noticed I have to be in a certain mood to think of material. Like when I'm in a certain mood, I think, oh, that's funny. This is funny. But most of the time, you just kind of let it go and be like, oh, I'll remember that. But then later on, you're just in a different mood, so it doesn't have the same feel to it. So if you're in a certain mood, like, that's the time to pull out the phone, turn on the recorder, record what you want to say, and then you remember that later when you want to refine it.
That's smart. Yeah.
Mm.
Gotta stay on top of it, keep it organic. Um, yeah. I think mindset's super key there too, like a lot of things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. Oh, yeah. So let's see. I'm at a loss for words at the moment. Forgive me.
No worries, dude. I
Just
recently finished.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, so I recently finished my sixth book for the month. I've been on a Yeah, I've listened to three audiobooks and finished three actual books this past month as well. It's been a pretty good month for reading and fitness overall.
Okay.
What started that train was, Can't Hurt Me. What I finished on most recently was the first book in the Three Body Problem series. I think by Liu Shixuan or something like that.
Okay.
Chinese science fiction author, and I think you'd enjoy this book. You should take a look at the Three Body Problem. I would recommend it. If you've enjoyed The Expanse, if you've enjoyed Spin, this
Mm.
is up your alley.
Okay, so walk me through the six books. So you started with Can't Hurt Me, and that's the Goggins book, right?
Yes. Yeah. So Can't Hurt Me. Um, there. So by David Goggins, of course. There was um, David Attenborough's recent book that I listened as an audiobook as well.
Okay.
I think it was like A Life on Our Planet. Let me see.
Okay.
There was the 100-page machine learning book. Um, it was really just over 100 pages, but
Mm.
I read it to do as a review. Um, yeah, by Andrew Burkoff. Would recommend. It was a great refresher on some uh, concepts that I hadn't reviewed in a while.
Okay.
So that's three. The Happiness Advantage by Sean Ancor or Acor.
Okay.
Also a very solid book. Uh, but I feel like I have three videos, about 35 minutes in total, that basically summarize this book. If you're ever curious,
Hmm.
I still recommend reading the book. It is pretty solid, but it wasn't as impactful to me after I had read Goggins' book, after I had watched these 3 videos separately, and then listened to this book.
Mhm.
Uh, actually, let me. I don't know if I can share my screen. I can just kind of show you as long as
Okay.
there's. Do you mind giving me sharing permission?
Oh, okay. Let me figure out how to do that.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I did it.
Okay. Sick. I do see that. Let me find this. Okay. Do you? Oh, okay.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I see your Goodreads page.
Right. So
Also,
can't
by the
hurt me.
way, hold on. Remind me to add you on Goodreads because I also have a Goodreads.
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure, dude.
Oh, okay. So these are the ones you read. Okay.
Yeah, this. Yeah. So started with Can't Hurt Me. Then it was the 100-page ML book, Happiness Advantage. Then A Life on Our Planet. Principles. A good read, but it also like took me 2.5 years to finish this.
Those are the best reads when you finish a book that you didn't, you just never finished.
Yeah, yeah, man. It was I mean, it's weird, right? Because like Principles is obviously a solid read. It just it took a while for me.
Mhm.
But I'm glad that's done. And this is the science fiction book I mentioned to you, The Three-Body Problem, Liu Cixin.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah. Okay. Hold on. Now that now that you shared a thing with me, let me see if I can show you my list. Okay.
Sure. I'll stop sharing.
So I put my reads. I have a Goodreads, but I also update it on my website. So
Oh, okay.
let me just share that. Okay. Okay. Can you see that?
Oh yeah, I see Minesweeper.
Oh yeah, I gotta tell you about that too. I'm building a Minesweeper game this month. That's my challenge.
Oh, okay. Sick.
So
Nice.
where is it?
Oh, okay. Nice.
So I kind of have it set up like this. Uh,
Cool, man.
I've been reading this book, Thinking Fast and Slow, for the longest time, and it's
Hmm.
it's pretty dry. So I just that's basically my Dalio book. I'm just postponing it
Hmm.
forever and ever. Yeah, so basically, I just read The Walking Dead and the fifth book, Nemesis Games.
Oh, nice. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
That's great, dude.
Um, yeah. So um, that's awesome. You got through 6 books in a month. I know 3 were audio, and you read 3, but that's a lot.
Yeah, it was luckily this month wasn't too busy in terms of work, but like yeah, I don't think I'll be able to keep up this pace anytime again in the near future. But it was a good run. It kind of like helped me put things in perspective, like how much audio content I can really consume as well.
What were you doing, one a week?
Uh, well, I mean, I did the Goggins audiobook, which is like 13 and a half hours in like I think like 6 days or something.
Okay. And how do you consume it? Is it during workouts? What are you doing while you're listening?
Normally it's on long drives, right? Like so driving back to London, that definitely helps out. Doing doing walks as well, specifically or like weight training or circuits. I'll do the podcasts or
Mhm.
audiobooks. I don't listen to anything while I run anymore because of the whole Goggins thing. And doing random chores like doing the laundry, taking out the trash, cooking definitely makes cooking go by as well.
Yeah, I usually, I don't know, man. It's tough because I can't. Uh, I don't like listening to stuff when I'm running or basically if I'm outside. But when I'm at home, I put on some music when I'm doing some chores. And I've never really listened to a full audiobook. Actually, that's not true. I listened to one audiobook years ago at a co-op job while I was working. It was a Malcolm Gladwell book, I think David and Goliath.
Hmm.
Um, but it's just distracting because your attention is taken to what you're hearing. You have to keep going back and forth between what you're hearing and what you're doing. But
Yeah, it's definitely
uh,
tough to do during work.
yeah, so if you're listening to it on during weight training, is it just in the earphones basically?
Exactly. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I think driving is probably the best time to do it because you don't like you can only
I,
focus so much attention on the road.
yeah, but think about what you just said, right? Like you're driving a vehicle going like at least weighing 1 metric ton, going at least 60 kilometers an hour.
Yeah.
Like I feel like, yeah, it's definitely easy to listen to it, but I also feel like the quality of attention that I pay to podcasts and audiobooks while I'm driving isn't as good as when I'm like walking around or doing chores because the stakes are just so much higher in my
Mm.
mind when I'm driving.
Yeah, the best music to listen to while you're driving is music you already know. So
Yeah.
I never put a new album while driving, or I try not to, unless I like if I'm like really tired or for whatever reason I'm losing my focus or attention. I'll put something new or put on the radio because it's something new that kind of perks you up a little bit. Um, but yeah, basically you're right. You don't want your attention. You want most of your attention to be on the road on your driving. Um, but like the longer you drive, the easier it is to, how do you say, kind of take it for granted. Like the longer you do something, the less attention
Mhm.
you'll naturally pay to it.
Right, right.
So if it's a 3 or 4 hour drive, probably after 2 hours for sure, you've been driving for 2 hours, so you're just gonna feel like a little more.
Autopilot, right?
Yeah. So in that way, so when I used to drive from Perth to London, it used to be 6 to 8 hours. So I would
Hmm.
alternate between the radio or songs that I had on an iPod. Yeah. So I mean, yeah, I don't know. I'm not really sure when is a good time to listen to an audiobook.
The other thing too is that these days I tend to wake up, I guess like before daylight savings time. It was around like 6:37 or so. And first thing I do in the morning is just like make a cup of coffee, have a banana, eat a cookie, get some easy carbs in me, and then usually I read or I
Oh,
listen to an audiobook for like 30 minutes to an hour.
okay.
And then that's usually, and during that time, I try and finish my coffee and carbs in like, a somewhat, not a rushed manner, but like, get in the coffee appreciated, get in the food appreciated, but then get it in me so that I can like digest it quicker and then get ready for the morning workout. Because that's when I typically, uh, that's when I typically aim to get my first workout of the day in.
Mm.
So having that dedicated time in the morning to just like do stuff like read, listen is has been a pretty nice boon in my situation.
And it's okay. The one thing I've noticed years ago when I was living in Perth, I wasn't working out a lot and I was eating pretty light, a lot of fruits, vegetables, home cooked rice, things like that. And I could go by without a lot of sleep. So I could go one night, 3 hours of sleep, I'd be perfectly attentive all the next day. And I would regularly sleep, 4.5 to 6 hours, feel great, open my eyes, wake up, I'm ready to go any time of day.
Mhm.
But now I'm working out every day. I wake up and I don't get up for an hour or two. I'm just like rolling around. I'm so stiff. Even if I do get up, I lie back down. It's like, all right, I'm just gonna lie down. I'm not gonna sleep. And then it's 2 hours have passed. Oh man, it's just I don't know what it is. If I have to do something or be somewhere, it's not a problem. You just kind of slog through it. But it
Mhm.
takes me an hour to loosen up. So, you know, do you get that same thing with when you wake up?
Sometimes, but it's been fewer and far between these days. Um, and it doesn't even happen that often when like morning Davis wants to just like sleep in, because my roommate Ty is also has also been converted into a morning workout person too. So if I sleep in for that, odd day out, then Ty's gonna be awake and he's gonna be working out as well. So I'm a light sleeper. I hear that and I'm like, bullshit. Might as well get up. There's no point in
Yeah.
trying to sleep for an extra hour or something like that, because then it's like 8, or in this case now it's 7, and there's less time.
Yeah, man. It's yeah, these are the, daily things. That's what I have to master. I'm still working on it. It's like, how do you get up and stay up when you have nothing to do? Obviously, the solution is find something to do, but I haven't found that yet. Because, like,
Just
I don't know. I've done morning workouts, but then I'm just sore earlier in the day. So if I do my workout in the evening or in the afternoon, I get sore toward dinner time when I don't really need to be as focused or get too many things done. So yeah, I'm hoping I'll just keep doing my workouts as they are, and then slowly develop an easy stretch out, feel good routine in the morning.
yeah. I mean, actually, like I'm sure Evan would tell you the same thing. Just get used to being sore all the time.
I know, but I don't know. I don't want that. Uh, I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah,
Well, see, the thing
sure, man.
is, I don't mind being sore, but I've noticed the more sore I am, the more cranky I am with my family and people around me. So that's
But
what I don't want.
don't you think that's a good exercise for you to improve upon that? Because you're aware
Yeah.
that, you're in a different state of mind, but obviously your goal is not to be cranky to your family, right? Your goal is
Yeah.
just to have normal interactions. So
Yeah.
then you have an opportunity to exercise this additional like mental training to overcome that.
Well, the thing is, I've been doing that for so long. Now I'm trying the approach where, you know, I just create
Just
a
avoid the.
situation where it doesn't show up as often, or
Mhm.
figure out how do I maintain my body so that I can recognize when it's coming. Like, so when I'm trying to develop this kind of morning stretching routine, it's like trying to figure out intuitively what is the most efficient way to stretch out and figure out how to get in the vibe naturally, because you can do it mentally and I've done that, but that requires effort, whereas if you just control the body, everything else kind of follows.
Yeah, I think your approach is kind of like the overall, if we're drawing like engineering analogies, it's like inherently safe design, right?
Mm,
Like you're putting these fail safes and these precautionary measures in place so that you won't even experience that mental state of crankiness, so that you don't even have to worry about like, oh, what are the solution pathways once I've achieved this state of crankiness. You're
hmm
you're not even there.
yeah, I've you know I've used the brute force method in all parts of my life for so many years, and it has consequences. So if you can figure out an easy way to live life, in sense that, you know, if you can figure out how to keep your body easy and ready for brute force instead of making that the priority, I think that is going to be good for longevity. And basically it's good for, you know, the whole vibe of your day to day.
Totally with you.
You know, so yeah, it's almost 8. um I don't know what else we can finish on. I'm just trying to think of, I didn't write any notes this time, so I don't have anything specific.
Oh, dude, you didn't want to talk about the elections tonight?
It is the elections tonight, and oh, I'm doing this new thing where,
Hmm.
so I'm on Instagram, and I noticed over the last week or so, before Friday, the week before Friday, that I'm just checking Instagram constantly all the time.
This is what you got
And
rid of Facebook for.
yeah, yeah, basically, yeah, it's Facebook, like it's happening again. So I decided, you know, I'm gonna set aside 1 day a week, and I'm just gonna binge on Instagram and Twitter and any social media thing I want for that day, and then just shut it off for the next 6 days. So I did that this past Monday, which is now yesterday. And what I did was I reinstalled the app, used Instagram, and then deleted the app when I was done. So there's no temptation to even
Oh.
open it. For some reason, going to the app store and downloading it feels like that should be reserved for a few moments. But if the app's not there, I can't open it. So anyway, I bring that up because I'm using the same approach with reading the news, because I would just go to Google News all the time, refresh the page. There's an endless number of news articles you can just scroll through to see all the headlines.
That's
So
true.
I have no idea what's going on with the election. Um, it doesn't make a difference to me to know every second. I can just
Hmm.
look it up, you know, once a day or once in a few days, see what the results are. And from what I know, there are a lot of mail-in ballots there, so it could take days or weeks even to know the results.
Hmm.
But yeah, that's going on. But the news channel is here. People are watching it, and I'm not. That is the important thing. But what's your feels and take on the election going on?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you've heard some opinions about how Biden's forecasted to win and Trump would not give up the presidency willingly. Um, yeah, it's weird to think that there's like not like a non-trivial chance that you know like civil war like battles will like break out here, right? And that's kind of crazy to think about in like 2020 as well. But
Yeah,
I mean, hopefully logic and empathy um, reign, like keep maintain level heads to some degree as this is happening.
yeah,
Um, yeah, like you said, the mail-in ballots are going to take a lot of time. Um, Trump is interested in calling in a premature victory, stuff like that. So, we'll just have to see. But I agree. I like your approach. Like you said for Instagram, like you said for the news, kind of dedicating like one day of like getting updated and everything, and you know, not looking at it at all for the rest of the week. I think that's a healthy way to do it. I was actually talking with one of my friends about how he used to spend like I think an hour on Instagram a day,
mhm,
and he put the Instagram. He didn't delete his Instagram app. He put it under some other app that had like passcodes and locks and something like that. So he had to do like 3 different passwords and like swiping maneuvers to unlock Instagram on his phone.
mm,
And it just to your point, it definitely goes a long way to just put those like extra barriers, like re-downloading it from the store, putting a lock on it to
yeah,
um, help you put yourself in a different frame of mind and focus on more important things, right? Because Instagram, um, social media in general, it's not important. It doesn't make you a better person. It doesn't make you a happy person.
Yeah, man, when I binged it on Monday, I used it like straight for an hour or two or something. I was actually exhausted after I deleted it. I was like, man, this is, I don't know. I didn't know I could be so exhausted just using the app. Because what I did was I went through every single post I missed since the last time, went through every story. And there's just something about, parsing in your mind, okay, this person has this story, this person has this story. You go through like 50 of those and you check each post, and you read the comment, or sorry, the description, and then write some comments for some of them. It's like, they imagine doing that in real life. You say, okay,
Mm-hmm.
okay, okay, if you're in class or something, all right, everyone in my class, Monday at 1 p.m., you're all going to line up and give me the update in your life. That would be so exhausting. You have to sit through 150 people or 100 people or whatever many it is, and then just go. I don't know,
Yeah,
man.
but why? Why is it? Why, have yourself do this?
Because, okay, so there are two types of people in the world, okay? The first type of person, when you look at their inbox, they have like 3,000 unread email messages. And the second type of person always has zero unread messages. I'm
You're
the
in the
second
second
type of
category.
person.
I'm
So
also that person.
whatever the technology is, if I feel better if I've seen everything. So for me, having one day to binge is better than following the zero unread strategy for 7 days a week, 52 weeks a year. So I, that's how it is.
I guess so, but like, why? Like, you don't. I guess. I guess if it's concentrated in one area, that's not too bad. But do you think it still adds value?
No, it doesn't add value, but I have a habit of doing it. So, if I do it long enough, if I do it once a week for a few weeks, uh, you know, it's possible that I can, you know, inherently embody the decision not to look at everyone's story and post. It's just a habit. So because it's a habit, I need something to change the habit. And
Hmm.
just thinking about changing it never works. So if I just exhaust myself once a week, I don't know what effect that's going to have on it. But I know that I'm only following that habit once a week instead of every day.
I think, yeah, it's like a diet or a new exercise training program. Like, you got to try it and see if it works for you.
Yeah.
But it sounds like you're on the right track, dude.
Yeah. I mean, anyway, thank you for doing this again, Davis. This will, I think this was a good one. It was a good chat. Felt kind of more natural. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for having me again, dude.
Yeah. Do you have anything to promote?
Um, Not really. Just people run when it's like shitty weather outside. People go meditate.
So,
People just go talk with your friends, catch up with folks.
so just
Be a
go
good person.
Goggins every once in a while.
Yeah, be your best person. That's what I
Okay.
have to say to the listeners.
All right. And that is the end.